this is what we found out in an early stage, that the reinsurance market is too small to cover all the risk due to, for example, climate change, big issue, or the upcoming topic cyber, for example, or the pandemic we had. So very, very special lines of insurance where a capacity gap is existing. And we try, or maybe we are beyond trying, we link companies which with a big need of capacity.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Marcus Schmalbach. He's the founder and CEO of Ryskex Risk Exchange. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kelsey. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you. So Marcus, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Marcus. I come from Germany. And I'm, as you already said, the founder and CEO of Ryskex. Beside that, I'm professor at ESCP Business School based in Europe with our headquarters in Paris. And I'm one of the teachers in the chair for blockchain and artificial intelligence. And before I became a founder and part of the startup scene, I worked for the insurance and reinsurance industry with a focus on Germany and US.
Interesting. It sounds like you've had an interesting journey bringing you to Ryskex. Tell me a little bit more about Ryskex.
Yeah, Ryskex was exactly an idea which links my two professions of being a professor and on the other hand, a guy from the risk management. I was really, sounds a bit a fairy tale, but I was sitting in my office and a master student of mine came in and said, Marcus, I read something about this blockchain thing. And it will definitely have a deep impact on the finance industry, especially reinsurance and what you are focusing on. And I said, yeah, I heard about that as well. It was more like the 2014, 15. So the Bitcoin was alive, blockchain was there, but not in the middle of any industry, I would say. And then we started working together and he said he wants to write his master thesis on such a topic. And I became a supervisor, and afterwards, his name is Marco. It was mainly his idea to say, come on, why not setting up a company? Then we had a beer together. And the rest is story, I would say. It really came up. And now with some time of upsetting or setting up the company, we started mainly then 2018, 2019 in Germany, and then settled over to the US in 2021, and we are now officially an US American company based in Connecticut and New York City.
That's fantastic. Tell me a little bit more about Ryskex and what you do.
Yeah, Ryskex is the short form for risk exchange, and the idea behind that is we have, especially in the insurance industry sector, for large companies with large coverage sums which they need. We have a lack of capacity. For example, we have this year for nature catastrophes a capacity gap in the US of 100 billion US dollars. And this is what we found out in an early stage, that the reinsurance market is too small to cover all the risk due to, for example, climate change, big issue, or the upcoming topic cyber, for example, or the pandemic we had. So very, very special lines of insurance where a capacity gap is existing. And we try, or maybe we are beyond trying, we link companies which with a big need of capacity with the capital market. So instead of a traditional reinsurance company, the capital market jumps in and covers the risks. And from the capital market perspective, to them it's an risk as an asset class, as we would call that, and to add it to their portfolio as a non-linear investment strategy and a non-linear asset. So this is the idea behind that, going beyond the reinsurance market and linking fortune companies, especially with the capital market, to transfer risk to them.
Interesting. So what do you think it is about Ryskex that really separate itself from, other companies in the industry?
Yeah, that's a tough question, because that brings me to a point where I maybe would have to bash the others and say why they are not cooler or cool enough like us, or as cool as us. What we do, I guess, and I see that with other companies in our industry as well, maybe not in the traditional, but there are some other really good startups working in our field. Of course, I will not drop their names now, but I would say the holistic approach of us using artificial intelligence for the pricing and the underwriting guidelines, using the blockchain, making an NFT out of the risk, and make it easy to spread it. But at the end of the day, the secret sauce is really that I worked in the US before and had some experience with the Wall Street and investment companies. And so I guess what we really can do well is linking the policyholder, which is looking for cover, with companies which have capacity. So mean big hedge funds, big insurance-linked security funds. And this is, I guess, the hardest job, as we have seen, to entering the market. It's not purely the tech, but buying an AI solution, offering a blockchain solution nowadays time is not the big thing anymore. It's really becoming part of the industry itself. Setting up relationships with the big boys in town. So maybe we do this really good, or did this already really good, and try to expand it day by day.
I love that. I love that. That's great. And, how do you see, are there any current trends that are impacting Ryskex?
Yeah, we are affected, I guess, by the trends which affects the world in general. Climate change, of course, is a major issue and a big risk also. Cyber, as I already mentioned, is a big topic. On the one hand, I mentioned we are using AI. I'm a professor for AI and blockchain. I love the technologies, but I also see, the risks, the perils which come along with using AI solutions and implementing blockchain solutions and stuff like that within companies. So cyber affects, of course, or even will affect the future and the landscape of companies in the good way, but also on the other hand, the bad way that the risks come along with them as well. So this, of course, has a positive impact on our balance sheet, because people need alternative solutions, because maybe in the traditional market they do not find what they are looking for, or as mentioned, there is not enough capacity for everyone available. So even it's normally not, I'm super unhappy about the climate change and hope we will find a way to stop it somehow. But on the other hand, it's a positive driver of our business model, because the more the climate change affects the world, the more we will have nature catastrophes, and the higher the need is for example, hurricane covers in Florida or elsewhere in the world. So just to give a taste of what we are covering. Yeah.
Interesting. And I'm curious to pick your brain a little bit, Marcus. Are there any common misconceptions that you tend to hear often, maybe not necessarily about Ryskex, but maybe the industry or risk in general?
There are definitely. I would sometimes the major thing what's happening with our industry at the moment is, especially my former employees got bashed like Munich Re or Allianz or someone, when the clients at the moment are super unhappy with the premiums they have to pay for, let's say, nature catastrophe risks, what we would call the property insurance, for example. And there's every single year in my hometown in Baden-Baden is the biggest reinsurance congress in the world, and I've joined it. And there were some super unhappy clients who said the premiums are too high and we do not understand that, so on. Here's the official statement from me, and I'm not affected by that. The premiums are even too low. We always say nothing beats a cheap insurance. So at the end of the day, the insurance market, even I know people don't like the insurers and believe that they just take your money and they do not pay if there's a real claim. Yeah, sometimes they maybe do, but the premiums are really low at the moment. And sometimes people call us and say, Marcus, do something. And then my answer is right from scratch. Sorry, guys. Okay, you now pay four times the premium you had 5 years ago. But we cannot do that cheaper for you because this is just how the way goes. Due to climate change, as mentioned, we have that impact on the world. We have that high claim ratio and combined ratio, which is an important KPI for the insurance industry. So this is one of the major wrong things I hear within our industry, that the insurances are too expensive. Definitely not.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate your insight on that. So, Marcus, I think this has been a very insightful conversation. As we start to wrap up, is there anything that you want to leave our listeners with, whether, it be about Ryskex, about the risk industry, insurance, anything you want to leave our listeners with? Advice?
I'm super happy if people take or in first instance are interested in Ryskex itself. We are always happy if you maybe are a student who listens to us right now. We offer internships, of course, and otherwise we also are trying not to post how cool we are. We also offer sometimes interesting insights on the industry ourselves. Happy if you follow us on LinkedIn or say hi to our website, which is not the coolest one, to be honest, but maybe on LinkedIn, have an eye on us. We are always happy if people reach out to us and to discuss somehow we can work together, or just interested in the topics itself.
Terrific. Well, Marcus, I think this was a very insightful conversation. Like I said, I appreciate all of your insights, talking about the industry, the changes. I think this was, like I said, a terrific conversation. I appreciate you being on Business Ninjas today.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Great to have you.